Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. Yeah, man. It is sometime in the evening. I know I'm logging on a few minutes early, and I need to check to make sure that that stupid YouTube thing done started. So let's see here. Go here. Where's the notification? Click that. I don't see nothing so far. Okay, there we go. All right, I got a notification. And I hit like for myself. Kelly said hi. Rick, hi. What's going on? All right, as you guys are coming in, make sure you hit that like button. Share my video. Follow me on all the other platforms. Now, let me see something. It's funny how I'm able to see something different when I look at the screen. Well, I oughta. That'll work. Anyway, all right, so let's go ahead and check, make sure everybody can hear me first. Can you hear me? 1, 2, 1, 2, check 1. All right, so if y'all can hear me, then cool. I'm gonna go ahead and get busy so we can get out of here. There's a football game going on tonight with Notre Dame and all of them, so we'll see if we can get out of here in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Ireland in the house. Yeah, man. All right. I rock the planet. Beat my chest like that. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Yeah, man. So there's also Kevin's Corner store. Don't forget to check that out. And this phone number right here, 330-974-4607. If you text MAGA to that number, you can stay connected with me just in case some shenanigans pop off with YouTube. Now, as you can see, guys, we got some craziness going on around the country. Stuff is burning down, all under Democrat rule, y'all. We got all kind of shenanigans going on out there in California, the California way. California is kind of burning. Now, that ain't funny in a sense, but we're going to make fun of the people who's responsible for allowing this to happen. How about that? And when I make fun of somebody, it's not just to laugh at them, but it's to bring out a point. It's to go ahead and criticize them and highlight how insufficient they are, how crazy they are, how woke they are, and how their behavior led to tragedy. This fire out in California is nothing more than one more example of Democrats' rule, their decisions, them not being able to foreshadow, them not, being able to anticipate something and block it, their inability to have common sense, all because they want to be woke. So they can go to sleep at night feeling good about themselves, saying, you know what? We didn't do something smart. And so we feel good about it. So with that being said, let's find out what's going on out there in California and see if we can get to the bottom of these wildfires. So here we go, y'all.
You have so much water, and all those fields that are right now barren, the farmers would have all the water they needed.
Wow. So that was September 13th, 2024. So wait a minute, Donald Trump is calling this stuff out back in September? Huh.
And you could revert water up into the hills where you have all the dead forests, where the forests are so brittle. Because no place is like California. I go to Austria. The head of Austria tells me, we have trees that are much more flammable than what you have in California. We never have forest fires because they maintain their forests. And you have all that water that could be used as water, what they call water flow, where where the land would be damp. And you'd stop many of these horrible fires that are costing billions and billions of dollars by the federal government.
But see, that's too smart, Trump. See, that right there is too much common sense. And the Democrats don't roll with no common sense. They like doing things the hard way. The woke way is the hard way, okay? So when they look at something that's very practical and smart and people say, you know what, you can stop this very easily. Nah, I want to go the very difficult route. To say, look at me, I'm fighting for justice, or I'm fighting for the environment, or I'm fighting for something stupid. So now here's Trump, giving a perfect suggestion and solution to a soon-to-become problem. Okay, this was before the whole place started burning down. Y'all got to understand that.
Etc.
But let's see what's happening currently.
We start tonight with that breaking news in Southern California.
We are not out of danger. The National Weather Service has predicted that the winds are going to pick up and get worse.
Fear and concern is growing tonight as flames light up the Los Angeles hillsides. Firefighters are scrambling to contain several major fires tonight.
Man, that's some serious fire right there. That bad boy, that looks like a hell scene, honestly. You know, and it's crazy when you look at some of the stuff that is, you know, a gift from nature. It's a blessing and a curse. I mean, if you stuck out somewhere in the middle of the tundra where it's freezing, you would beg for some fire. You'd be like, man, just a little bit of fire. Warm me up. But then, in this case, this fire right here, you're like, no more fire. No more fire. And it's like that across the board with everything. Water, when you are dying of thirst, you're like, just a drop of water. Then you get dropped off in the middle of the ocean and you're stranded. You're like, too much water. So in this case, you got all of this fire, and this fire is rolling. This ain't no fire that's like, all right, we're going to stay contained over here and mind our own business. This fire is on a mission.
Just into our newsroom, we are learning of another fire erupting, this time in Silmar in the San Fernando Valley. Extremely strong winds are fanning the dangerous and potentially deadly flames that have already forced tens of thousands of people to evacuate.
So now you got a combo. You got a combination, perfect situation of fire and wind. Bad, all the way bad. But now remember, guys, Trump was just talking about this in September. And he was talking about how you maybe could, you know, maintain the forest and use all the water sources. You know, I'm starting to think that Trump was right about everything. I'm starting to think that, y'all.
Clogged roads forced some to abandon their cars and run for their lives.
Wow.
The smoke just got really bad, so I just started packing up all of our stuff and we got in the car to go. And then all the cars were abandoned, so I had nowhere to go. So I just had to get out of my car and start walking. The smoke is so bad.
Now, you know that's bad. When the fire is rolling so quick, coming in to where you like, dude, I'm trying to get through this traffic, but traffic is so jammed. I think the fire's going to get here before we can get through this. So you know what? Forget it. Get out the car. Everybody, let's go. Let's go. Now, this is fascinating. This is a city. You're not talking about people that's living up there in the middle of, you know, the Appalachian Mountains where they're surrounded. This is a city. If you got cars and all of this stuff on the road and they got to get out their cars, this is not a rural area. This is a full-blown city. How in the world did this happen? That's the fascinating part about a housing. But see, now remember, guys, the people who could have stopped this or is responsible for this, they don't want to know how it happened. And they don't want you to know how it happened. They want everybody just to believe it's climate change. Circumstance. Couldn't have been prevented. Okay? I mean, what you want me to do about this? You think I'm the fireman? I'm not the fire gods. I don't decide when the fire comes. I'm not the god of the wind. So don't blame me. However, we're about to find out that this could have been prevented.
I have no idea where we're going.
This is video of abandoned cars moved out of the way by a bulldozer to make a path for emergency vehicles.
Wow.
Just literally seconds ago, we heard a very loud boom, and it was a tree coming down, and it hit those power lines. Whoa. You can see them sparking. We're trying to get away from them. This is a very, very dangerous situation the firefighters are dealing with.
I'll say, look at that. Why is that person surrounded by fire and still recording? I don't understand. What are you doing? Why are you still recording? Those flames look rather close.
You gonna be okay? Hi?
No, the dog's probably like, we should have been gone. What are you doing? Recording to get the camera out my face. Let's go. That's what the dog is probably thinking. Animals are smarter than humans. Soon as they see a quick sign of smoke or danger, they're out. That's why they usually survive those natural catastrophes. They got that sixth sense. You know, little tsunami on the way. They're like, you feel that? Nah. Oh, yeah, you know what? I do feel. Should we tell our owner? Nah, let's just get out of here. Let's bounce. So this guy's up in there recording, talking about, are you okay? The dog probably like, no, are you okay? I mean, how about you open the door so I can leave? You can stay in here and record the fire if you want.
You gotta be okay.
They gotta be okay. You see how...
We need to get out of there now.
But what is most concerning to me is our first responders and our firefighters who are trying to battle this. There's no water in the Palisades.
No, wait a minute. Did you just hear that? Now we're starting to learn some details of what's going on and why this right here either wasn't prevented or isn't being able to be managed properly once it started. So now if I'm getting it straight, you're in a major city and you don't have water. How could this be?
There's no water coming out of the fire hydrants.
Bruh.
What?
This is an absolute mismanagement by the city. It's not the firefighters' fault, but it's by the city.
Oh, mismanagement of the city. What city is LA? What state? California? What do they really major in up there? Being woke. Definitely being woke. They love that stuff. They love the wokeness. They wake up to be woke. I'm up. It's time to get woke. Well, didn't you just wake up? Yeah, I woke up, but you know what I'm saying? I want to be woke while look, you white nationalists, don't question me. So this joint right here is burning and they have no fire. Now, water. And I wonder, how do you explain that in a major American city that boasts about having so many resources? They're so, progressive. They got this big economy and they have no water. No water. Let's continue.
And I'm going to be very honest. We've got a mayor that's out of the country, and we've got a city that's burning, and there's no resources to put out fires. So if you look at your pictures, you don't see the firefighters there because there's nothing they can do.
Yeah, what you want them to do? Put the fire out with their hands? Maybe some strong blowing. What do you want them to do? They're probably going, hey, Captain, I turned on the spigot and nothing came out. So we have to now run for our lives too. So somebody needs to explain to me why there's no water in that city. See, now the plot is starting to thicken. Now we're starting to put some pieces together after this fire started, and people are going, well, why didn't this happen? Oh, it didn't happen because of this? Well, why didn't that happen? And you just start going down that rabbit trail to find out who's next in line and who's responsible for this. So now we know we don't have water, and we got a mayor who decided to go back to the motherland for some reason. Oh, nah. Wow. Karen Bass. Oh, yeah. So where is she? Where she goes? She Bass cut fire department funding by 17.6 million. What? Well, you got a double problem. Not only do the fire department not have enough water, they don't have no water, but they don't have enough firefighters. Now, what could be so important to cut the fire department's budget by 17.6 million? Now, this is Democrat rule. You understand that, guys? They cut money from things that we need and give money to things that we don't. So now, when you look at police, you look at fire department, they're like, you know what? They don't need all of that money. I mean, what's the chances? What's the chances of us having a disaster like this? But yet they're always crying about climate change. They're always talking about, we're having more winds, more fire, more whatever. You would think they would invest in a whole bunch of people who can combat fire, and catastrophes, and they cut the fire department. I wonder where that 17-something million went. I think she's going to have to answer for this. Do you think she will? Do you think she's going to come out to that microphone like maybe a responsible politician who's responsible for that whole city would, and come out and explain? Because these are now questions that you got to go back and say, crap, when I did this, it sounded like a good idea at the time. But now that the city's burning and we have no water, and now somebody done went and found out we cut the budget so we don't have enough firefighters, I better prepare to come out and give a justification of why I did this.
I say that's the California way.
It sure is. But look at that. That looks like a mess. The hospitals. How do you get there, y'all? Do you see how crazy this is right here? I mean, you would think the hospitals would be safe. You would think all of this concrete jungle right here, the fire don't burn over concrete. But somehow that fire has made its way into a place where now they got to evacuate the hospital. Now, I'm sure somebody's head is going to roll. I'm sure somebody's going to get hurt for all of this crap right here that I'm looking at on my screen. Horses. Where are you going with those? I mean, at that point, I might just cut them loose and tell them, good luck, buddy. Hopefully I'll run across you again. So you're taking your horses somewhere. Where are these people going to go? Where are they going to stay? This is a mess. Cars piled up. Looks like a war zone.
This is the view from a airplane from KTLA photographer Paul Sanchez as he's giving us an aerial perspective to the devastation in the Palisades.
Oh, well, here's one of our fearless leaders right here, Gavin Newsom. So now he can add something else to that map that they put together in California. You can add fire. See, remember the Dookie map? The Dookie map showed all of the places in California where human feces were found. Now you can add fire to that map as well. And yet this guy's probably going to want to run for president in a couple years from now. I don't want America burning like that. You know, I mean, the way they govern, the way they prioritize and put their money and justify it. Try to justify why they're not putting money here or taking money away from here. The way they think, no way. No, man. So let's go ahead and see what he's up to with his hands in his back pocket, looking at stuff, trying to pretend that, yeah. So what do you think is happening there? It's burning. Oh, that's what that is. Well, what's that orange and yellow stuff? That's fire. Okay. Normally, don't you put those out? Well, yeah, but we don't have any water. What? We don't have any water. Well, why don't we have any water? Well, because, and we're about to find out. Yeah. Look at the hands in the back pocket. How about you roll up those sleeves, Gavin Newsom, go get a canteen, a bucket, something, and start trying to put it out. You come out for the photo op, sticking your hands in your pocket while you watch everything burn. What you're watching is your work. You're the kid who burned up my pastor from Cincinnati. When he was a kid, they set the whole playground, it was a grass playground. They set the whole field on fire. Whole field was on fire. The fire department showed up, and my pastor, when he was a kid, standing right next to the fire department, looking at his own work, talking about how do you think that had happened? Yeah, standing right there next to the fire. That's what this guy's doing. Yeah, he's looking at his own handiwork along with several others. There you go. No water. Mayor's out of the country. Governor's hands in his pockets.
It's extraordinary. Pat yourselves on the back. Our message is working.
What is it? The message is stay out of California unless you want your stuff to burn up or be stolen. Those are your choices. You can either get your stuff burned up or stolen. One of the two. Or just taxed into oblivion. You know, you got some options. You might go ahead and lose everything through the high taxes. You might get your stuff burnt up and you might get it stolen. Let's continue.
The situation with the water, obviously, in the Palisades ran out last night in the hydrants. I was talking to the firefighter on this block. They left because there was no water in the hydrant here.
The local folks are trying to figure that out. I mean, just when you have a system that's not dissimilar to what we've seen in other extraordinarily large-scale fires.
Look, it's not my fault. Did he do that? It ain't my fault. Did he do that? It is his fault. He did that. So now, you see him, slick talker. Slick, jelly-back, oily, slime ball politician. Pass the buck, say it's a local issue, not my responsibility. Now all of a sudden, he ain't got nothing to do with it. You know, usually Democrats try to control everything until something goes wrong, then it's a local issue. Got to stay out of it, it's a local issue, out there, this and that. But we're going to be able to tie several of these culprits to this fire in a second.
Fires, whether it be pipe, electricity, or whether it just be the complete overwhelm of the system. I mean, those hydrants are typical for 2 or 3 fires, maybe one fire. You have something at this scale, but again, that's going to be determined by the local.
Yeah, well, I mean, of course, you got, fire hose, you got the little fire, hydrant and stuff like that, but you also got a lot of water in California surrounding you. I mean, I'm sure with a modern day city and modern technology, we can irrigate some water or we can play something. We got water sources out there, right? I'm pretty sure California's surrounded by water, right? So why can't nobody get hold to the water? So you're relying on just individual fire hydrants to put out all of that fire, which we're going to find out that we could have gotten our hands on a lot of water.
Laura, with all due respect, if it is true that things were handled this way, if it is true that Gavin Newsom is the absolute blithering idiot that I believe he is in the way he has handled fire management in this state.
Oh, it's true. It is true, James Woods, who lost his very lovely crib. Burnt that mug up. So that is true, along with others. He's not the only one to blame. all of the Democrat leadership in California is to blame.
Again and again and again and again. This isn't a wake-up call. This is the kind of thing they have tribunals for, where they try people and say, you had an oath of office to perform certain duties. When you're the fire chief, this isn't a social justice exercise.
A social justice exercise? Where'd that come out? Where'd that come at from? Now, he got a point, see, because the Democrats like a lot of social justice, activities, programs, and, things like that. And they don't worry about the consequences. They're going to, let's try this and see what happens. Like bringing in millions and millions of illegal immigrants. They should have a tribunal for that too. Because when you're responsible for protecting a whole country, and yet you bring in millions and millions of illegal immigrants from all over the world that you can't vet, by paying for all of this with taxpayers' dollars, because you got your little social engineering project going, and it result in American citizens being killed, or hurt or harmed, you should be brought up on charges for that too. You had one job, protect the homeland. But because of their social justice and their social engineering project, the homeland is vulnerable. Same thing with California. Right here. If your job was to make sure that your public services are available and they're sourced and all of that stuff, and you decide, you know what, they don't need that much money. We could use that money for something else. You know what? What's the chances of a fire spreading so far that these little teeny fire holes and hydrants and stuff can't be used to put it out? Now, I'm sure it'll never come this far inland, right? So how about we pretend we're woke and do something else with the vast amount of water we could have right now to put this fire out?
That you're in charge of. This is you getting water to areas that need water because there are fires in 100-mile-an-hour winds burning houses to the ground. I watched on a Ring camera a guy have to sit and watch his pet burn to death. That
right there, you don't hurt no dogs, man. You don't hurt no animals, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, if that happened to Gizmo, first of all, y'all, I might get burned up trying to run in there and grab him. I'm sorry, I got to get him, wet my clothes or something, and I'm going in, come and kiss. But that's a tough pill to swallow. Pets are like your family members. So, yeah, that's tough, man. And then you start thinking to yourself, how'd this happen? I'm in the middle of a dang on city. Where's the fire department? See, this is the wake-up stuff that liberals out there in Democrat-ran cities should start processing and thinking. They should start, after tragedy hits, you should start connecting dots. You should start saying, hold on, it's not logical that this fire, we're not talking about a force. We're talking about a city now that have caught on fire. It's not logical that the whole city should be this vulnerable for that fire to burn this far inland and it can't be stopped. Yeah. I'm sure there's ways that this could have been prevented or at least controlled or managed a little bit better. Who's in charge? What decisions were made? How did it lead to me having to watch my pet burn alive in a city? How did it lead to that? What decisions are they making? See, these are things that when it happens, you should start bringing this stuff together and say, who are these folks that we are dang on voting in? Now, you got to understand, y'all. Trump addressed this several months ago in a very practical, logical way. He identified the problem. He warned them of the problem. All of those brushes out there, all of this stuff could catch on fire. Why isn't anybody cleaning it? And you got this big water source. Why aren't y'all using the water source? See, these are things that Trump identified a while ago, right? Now, you would think, people would be going, man, that's common sense. This dude called it. This is the type of leader that I want running my country, my state, or whatever, who can say, yo, let's not wait till the problems start and happen to go, now what do we do? Let's be proactive. Let's be preventative. Let's go ahead and say, man, you know what would happen if this happened? Oh, well, shoot, we'd be in trouble if that happened. Well, why aren't we solving that problem? Could somebody do something to make sure that doesn't happen? Oh, well, we were going to do something, but Gavin Newsom's told us not to.
Those things are issues of the heart when you watch a cherished little pet or, look, my home is a building. We worked 3 years putting the home together. We loved our little house, but it means nothing compared to the 5 people who lost their lives.
The fire department is launching its first ever Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Bureau.
Oh, goody. There we go. Now we got another culprit. It went from Gavin the nuisance. Okay. He's over the whole state. So he should go ahead and point the thumb and not the finger. It's a local issue. But now, goody. They started a diversity and equity the initiative. Let's see what it's all about.
It is dedicated to ensuring a fair and equal workplace environment. Eyewitness News reporter Christian Cordero is live in North Hollywood.
Was the department not fair and equal? See, this what prompts these type of things? This is the question I have. Are you just using this woke DEI stuff to go ahead and manipulate people and control people and all of this stuff? Because I'm thinking if it ain't a problem, don't make it a problem. Well, was the fire department riddled with racism and inequality? What made y'all do this? Wokeness. That's what made them do it.
Hollywood with more on what it entails and why it's necessary. Christian?
Yeah, tell us.
Ellen, Colleen, the discrepancies are stark, even just on paper. The LEFD this year hired its first ever female chief, and it says so far this year, 8% of its applicants have been women. That might sound like a small number, but it's actually twice the percentage of female firefighters currently in the department. Every day, the LEFD is called upon to respond to crises, and today it is taking a step to resolve one of its own. The department's first ever Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Bureau will launch in January, 1 year since its first ever female fire chief, Christian Crowley, was appointed. So
therein lies the problem. Whenever there's smoke, there's woke. There you go. Whenever there's smoke, there's woke. I'm going, all of that smoke, let's find out where it's coming from. Oh, the smoke is coming from woke. So now you hire the first female. Yeah, they always want to celebrate the first. So we got the first female. And you got to make sure that female comes in woke so she can implement all of her wokeness throughout the whole department. Yeah, you can't just hire a regular female. You got to hire one of the most progressive, woke, edgy females so she can sit there in front of all those guys right there. Look at that. Finally got us a woman in charge. Things are going to be different right about now. We're going to learn how to be sensitive and all of this stuff. We're not going to learn how to be great firefighters. No. In fact, I know there are some states where they even lower the standards for female firefighters, where they don't have to carry the same type of weight a guy has to carry. I'm thinking, I don't want to be the guy trapped, and it's a female there, I'm going to have to go and get help. You're too heavy. I don't want that. I'm going to be like, wait a minute, don't leave me. So all of this wokeness leads to smokeness. So now here, let's find out about this person right here, because that's supposed to make them better as a fire department. Now, when they talk about the percentage of females that are applying and all of this stuff, I think to myself, is it because they feel they can't apply, they're afraid to apply? Is it because, you got systemic discrimination where they're saying, we don't want women coming in here applying, or is it because they just don't want to? Is it because there's other factors? Not every career or occupation or industry a lot of women want to be a part of, but they pick and choose which industries and occupations they want to bring this woke quota into. And I'm thinking to myself, how about you just let it play out? If a lot of women want to apply to be a firefighter, they will. But don't make them do it by incentivizing them to be sorry. But you're just saying, we want women. We need more women. You don't need to meet the standards. Don't worry about it. We'll lower those. It won't be that hard for you. You don't have to be that good. You don't have to be that passionate about it. We just need more women. So I think you'll get a better quality firefighter if that's not the factor. If you got women say, man, all my life I wanted to be a firefighter. I worked hard, I trained hard, and I applied. Versus I wasn't even thinking about it, but they're doing a full-blown marketing campaign to bring more women in. Why not? So now you get this incentive to bring in all of these people, and then they want to boast about it. Let's see.
So by creating this new bureau, our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Bureau, now we actually have the staff to do the work when it comes to doing a deep dive in regard to how we do business, how we take care of one another in the fire stations and in our work environment.
What does that even mean? How we do business, how do you measure this? That's the question. See, all of the smokeness leads to smokeness. So now you're just sitting here telling us, we got a whole bunch of women, we got diversity, and we make them go and sit through these trainings for no reason. We're creating a problem that's not a problem. We're planting all of these thoughts and ideas and suspicions and awareness that really wasn't even necessary or a problem. Now you got folks looking for discrimination, wokeness. You're sitting in there taking them through all these trainings to now make them start identifying stuff that before they might have just overlooked, didn't even think about it. But hey, because you didn't think about it, that shows that you do have discrimination and racism in your heart, pal. We were here to unlock that and show you that really you're broken on the inside. So now I want you to go ahead and instead of focusing on how great of a firefighter you can be, make sure you don't offend this person. Make sure you don't. No more joking and jacking off in the dang on fire department station. You guys better control yourselves. No more whistling. No more. We want you guys to be all of the stupid stuff that you got to walk around and be aware of when you're working for woke. Whereas before, all you got to be aware of is ring-a-ling-a-ling. Everybody, let's go put fires out.
The plan is to do so by adding training and enforcing accountability. Calls.
Nobody wants training. If they say they do, they're lying. I've never worked a job, even when I was the guy that was required to conduct training sessions or bring people in. I hated it. I'm thinking I got a million other things to do, but corporate wants me to conduct the training. As soon as you tell the whole staff, all right, we got a training coming up on Monday, be prepared to cut, and they go, they got to fake like you're excited to be there. All right, everybody, we're here. Are you ready to learn? Are you excited about this year? Yeah. Look, man, just let me do my job, okay? Don't try to hype me up. But what's this training about? Oh, it's about how racist you are and how much discrimination and racism goes around and all of this. Nobody wants to sit through that mess. But that right there makes them feel good. That's what they were focused on out there.
Calls for accountability have echoed for years. In 2021, women's advocacy groups, including one representing female firefighters.
Women's advocacy groups. Jeez. I'm so glad we're getting rid of woke. I'm so glad this mess is on its way out. And I don't want to resuscitate it. This ain't a movement, an ideology that we need to go ahead and linger, let it linger, stomp it out. We got to straight up stomp this mess out into oblivion. So they're talking about the amount of women that they have now and they're celebrating it and stuff. And yeah, now they're very selective with them trying to fulfill a quota in certain businesses or institutions and things like that. Yeah, they're not trying to be woke when it comes down to loggers, construction workers, jobs that most women who support being woke, wouldn't want to work. You want to be that woke, but you don't want to work in certain industries. Why aren't you saying we need more women on the jackhammer? We need more women down in the coal mine so we can celebrate it. It makes us more diverse. I can't even tell the difference between women and men when we're down there because our faces and stuff were so covered with soot and the black lung. Okay, but still, those women go, that's not a job we can walk around and stick our chest out and go, that's right. Look at us. We're represented. We're represented. They don't want to be represented on a oil rig. They don't want to be represented there. Deep diving down there. Using the dang on, what do you call that? And when you're, welder, you don't want to be an underground welder. You don't want to do that. What are you talking about? So yeah, in this industry, it's cool until something like this happens.
Pushed for changes at the highest level, saying a system within the department exposes them to abuse, bullying, and a culture of intimidation.
See, just made up stuff. Just made up stuff. Abuse, bullying, a culture of intimidation. What is that? Is that really a problem? Is that running? If you got an individual who's an a-hole, you deal with that person, you fire him, you bring him into the office. Hey man, dude, you can't be out there catcalling all the females, or, you can't be telling black and white jokes too much to where it's stop. You deal with that person, but you don't need to make this an epidemic. If it's not, I want to know what their interpretation is of all of this stuff. Because when you're dealing with woke, they will tell you that intimidation is asking you to do your job. Intimidation is asking you to follow the rules. Intimidation is holding you accountable for something. They will come up with whatever reason to call something bullying, intimidation. Not calling you by your pronouns is bullying. Your preferred pronoun. That's it. See, I'm gonna tell you, all of this stuff, when you get the crazy transgender community and certain people like that who major in going out and trying to bully folks and embarrass people because of all of this wokeness, it makes it even harder on the ones that just want to be transgender and normal. Like, when I say normal, I mean, I'm not coming here to ask and get a job because I want to be secretly recording, trying to catch people saying things like, oh, excuse me, sir. I'm sorry. Ma'am, what did you call me? I just want a good job. But when you see the wokeness trying to slip in, it makes it bad for everybody. If I'm an owner of a company, I don't want even a potential woker coming in. I'm going, man, I don't want to assume this person's going to be one of them people that's going to come in and talk about something. You know what? Since I've been here, I've been discriminated against. Employers don't want problems. They don't want people on the job that's constantly head on a swivel like, how can I be a victim? The boss looked at me too long, and that's intimidation. And you know what? Why I got to do this? And you know how many jobs that I've worked that if I was one of those people, I could have been like, you know what, racism and this and that. No. When I first came out of college, I worked at Keebler Cookies. That's right. To this day, I won't eat a Keebler cookie to save my life. They overfed us with them to make sure we didn't steal them. On a break, first night, they sent us into the thing on, break room and said, all right, guys, we're on break. Eat up all the snacks you want. Big old spread of Keebler stuff. I dove in like the fat boys, Buffalo. I need food in my mouth. And after about a half an hour of eating snacks, I was like, oh God. I'm all snacked out. Get them away. Oh, now. I didn't want to see them. Coming home every night smelling like cookies. Well, one night while we were working on the line, normally things go smoothly. The crackers come out of the little machine and they just come right down the conveyor belt, and you just got to watch them. Make sure that the crackers don't have any metal in it, but the machine is supposed to take care of that. It catches it, blows the cracker off into a binge, and you keep the line moving. I'm working next to an old white dude. He was already in the union. I was still working. You got to go a month before you're in the union. So I'm the young boy, right? I couldn't even sit down. All right, they made me have to stand up for the whole 8-hour shift while the old guy is sitting down in the chair. I couldn't lean on nothing. He's like, hey, man, don't you do that. They're watching. They're watching. They want to see how committed you're going to be. So you're not allowed to sit down like me in the chair. Now, I could easily be like, why the white man get to sit down? The black man got to stand up and watch the crackers? Watching the crackers go by because I'm black. All of that stuff. I didn't do that. I did my job. And then, to top it off, the crackers went crazy. The machine malfunctioned, started shooting crackers out all over the place. The engineers couldn't shut it down. Crackers all over the floor. Starting to rise up. I'm starting to tread in the crackers. And afterwards, they finally got that machine off, and I looked around and we were up to our knees in crackers. And that old white dude looked at me and said, this is a mess. Well, I'll tell you what, go ahead and get started cleaning this up. I'm going on break. I was like, what the? I'll punch you in the back of your head. I knew I wasn't going to make it after that night at Keebler Cookies. But what I didn't do is go to the boss, go to the news. As a black man, I was working. They made me get all the crackers up. The white man wouldn't sit down, and they wouldn't let me sit. They told me, shut your mouth, you black person. You want this job done. I didn't do that. Yeah, I did my job. I wasn't looking at everything through the lens of, is this discrimination? Is this racism? Yeah, if you came in with that attitude, you think somebody wants you sitting out there looking around, looking for a reason to say, I'm being abused. No, They're like, we don't want to hire problems. But now when you introduce this type of stuff into a company, anybody that don't want to be held accountable will say, let me use this to my advantage. Anytime I'm called out, disciplined, it's because of racism.
Retaliation.
I'm super inspired.
She took time out of her already busy schedule to tell us about her vision for the department's future.
What's her
One
vision?
that includes a 3-year strategic plan to increase diversity.
People ask me, well, what number are you looking for? I said, I'm not looking for a number. It's never enough.
I'm not looking for a number. Never enough. Never enough wokeness. Right then, anybody who hires woke, it's going to go up in smoke. Y'all see the New England Patriots head coach got fired. Yeah. The owner of the company tried to shoot down wokeness when he was hired, and they were asking him about the first black coach for New England. And the owner was like, I don't see woke. I don't see race, rather. I see who's the best. The black dude. Well, I do. I see race. You don't see race. You can't deal with racism. 1 year later, gone. If I'd have heard him say that right then, I would have been like, okay, he's a problem. This guy's a problem. Because when you bring this type of mentality into a workforce, you create a problem that's not a problem. You make people become aware of something that they were innocent of. They were, just minding their business. It's like introducing a bad concept into some kids. Kids have a sense of innocence. When they sit back and talk to another kid or whatever, and they're joking around, they're not looking at it through the lens of hate and racism and discrimination. But when you start labeling all of their motives, bringing up stuff that they're going, that's not me. I don't think like that. I wouldn't think, oh, you don't think like that? Maybe you just didn't know you didn't. When you start doing crap like that, now you create things and people say you plant the seed, and then it starts to grow. And they like this stuff. They like the seed to grow. They like constant problems, especially the people who get to come in and do the seminars. You think, there's never a solution to woke. Yeah, that's the problem. It's never a solution to it. You think they're going to say to these companies that embrace this crap, or these entities or cities to say, you think they're ever going to say, you know what, after you complete your training, that's it. You're no longer a white nationalist. You're no longer suffering from white privilege. You're no longer a bully. You're no longer a sexist. You're no longer. What's the graduation to wokeness? Do you get to graduate? When you're going through all of this woke training right here, you get a certificate. That I used to be like you until I went through woke training. Now I no longer see race. I no longer see. Unbelievable.
3,300 city firefighters, only 115 are women right now. She's already looking at ways to change that.
For what? See, when you're doing things that isn't organic, you run the risk of dragging in unqualified people. I'm like, yo, if we got this many by default because they wanted to be here, cool. But now you're trying to force something. Yeah, I'm going, why are you forcing this? See, that's my problem. You're probably sitting at the desk instead of working out strategies to put fires out. You're probably writing around, all right, how can we get more women? We're going to go to this event, put some flyers out, reject some guys, their applications. We're going to go ahead and I'm saying you're wasting your time on woke.
Quick to point out that doing so has a greater purpose, attracting the best and brightest for the job.
And that's how you do it? Yeah, by going after and recruiting people who wasn't even probably thinking about this. But now I'm bringing you in just because you're a woman. We want. So we're the best for the job.
They feel included, they feel valued, and they feel part of a cohesive team.
That type of language makes me so mad. That's that baby stuff, man. Included, and valued, and a part of the team. This is the mentality that gets you having pee-wee leagues that everybody gets to play. I used to think only the good kids got to play. The ones that were skilled. All right? It toughens up the other ones. When I first started playing football, I set the bench. Came in, first time in Pee Wee thinking that I'm about to be like Lynn Swan. That's right, I would like to play receiver. You're going to play nose man. What? You're going to get out there and bring that water out. And at the end of the first year, the trophies came out. We all got a trophy if the team won. But then you had trophies for the kids that did stuff. My name wasn't on it, but that next year I lit it up. I didn't take that first year to whine, talking about, you know what, because I'm black, and I want one of them too, even though I never played, even though I was responsible for 18 points being scored on me and one. No, I knew the difference. I'm like, yo, I want to work hard to become good, not to feel like I just got something that I didn't earn or deserve. Talking about, you want you to feel good and inclusive. Now that your coach can't yell at the kids, toughen them up, see what's on the inside, see if they really want it. If you don't like it, go, take off, go on, you can go and quit. Why don't you quit? No, I ain't no quitter. No, you look like you a quitter. Go on, quit, go ahead, man. No, I ain't going nowhere. All right then, now get back in line. That's the stuff. But now it's okay. Go over there and take the time out, Timmy. Go over there. There's a safe space over there. I want you to feel included. I want you. That's bull crap. That's what that is. So now she wants adults to feel safe, included, appreciated. How about you just do your job?
The chief also checks another box when it comes to inclusivity and diversity.
But if you say you're just here to check a box, they'll have a fit. When it's us identifying that crap, but when it's them initiating that crap, then it's all about the boxes. So what's the other box she checked? I knew something was up with her.
This department. She's a proud member of the LGBTQ community.
That just kind of opens the door of people that thought, I didn't even know that was an opportunity for me.
There it is. Anytime you're a part of a community, it's a problem. I don't get involved in that stuff as an adult. That's the division, isolation. I'm a part of the LGBTQ+X-3 community. That means I'm woke. Most of the time, when you're talking about these type of little communities, they major in victimization. They feel they're, marginalized people. They're looking to expand their influence. They're not looking there just to be accepted. They're there to take over. They're not there just to make sure that they're treated fairly and equally. No, they're there to become almost obnoxious when it comes down to going out and, pushing this ideology on everybody and trying to influence every area, every job, every whatever. Now, I ain't saying all of them like that. But when you start saying I'm a grown person, a part of some community, that means you're not just an individual who want to live your life and be left alone. Now you done grouped up and y'all got one hive mind, and usually that stuff pours over into the workforce like this. So soon as somebody say that, I'm going, here we go. Here we go.
We are hosting our new employee orientation, and our focus is to teach our...
How to put out fires? That's what you're about to say? Our focus is to teach our employees how to put out fires. That's it. Thank you. Any more questions?
Our new employees, for them to understand cultural competency.
What does that got to do with putting out fires? Cultural competency? You think a rugged fireman is sitting in there taking... All right, now, wait a minute. Hold on. Go back again. Cultural what? How do you spell that? The competent... You know what? Is this going to be on the fire department test when I go and put the... No, what is a cultural competence? How do you even... These are things that I go, what are y'all doing? But this is California. California, baby.
Identify implicit and unconscious bias.
Short, pure shite. Now I'm starting to see where the woke is. See all that smoke? I'm tracing it back to woke. Man, California got a lot of smoke. Where's it coming from? Oh, woke. So now they're, instead of out there figuring how to jump up in the middle of the night and slide your stuff up, get in there, ring-a-ding-a-ding, and get them moving in the fire truck. You know how they look when they be hitting them corners, that big behind steering wheel, and that dude be fighting with it the whole time. Instead of doing that, they're sitting in there at the, wait, but what's the bias one again? The unconscious, so I don't know that I'm a white nationalist, but you're here to help me understand. Okay. All right, so conscious bias, non-conscious bias. Okay. All right, hey, how you doing over there, Jeff? Jeff, wake up. It's unbelievable.
And be aware of the importance of us having a diverse and inclusive workforce.
Diverse and inclusive workforce. I don't see a midget in there. I don't see somebody in there that's disabled. And all that stuff. See, when you focus on this, what's the drawback? What's the end? Who now can you tell you can't do it? If a man come in there in a wheelchair with no legs, talking about I want to be a firefighter, and you talking about some, well, what, you know, we normally don't hire people without legs. That's a very important element of helping others that are in trouble. What are you saying? I'm saying that you probably would need your legs to... Are you telling me I can't help, I can't climb ladders because I have no legs, and I can't drag people out of fires because I'm... That's what you're saying? No. I'm not saying that. Hey, look, I saw out there you said diversity, inclusion, equity. Yeah, no bullying. I saw the sign out there. I came in to apply. Now you're stuck. Rock in a hard place. Now I'm down at the news. Yeah, I went there. They told me I can't climb the ladders because I... Stupid stuff like that. Now they got to redesign the whole fire truck for my wheelchair. Stuff like that. I know that ain't funny, but it is. It just goes to show my dark imagination that they led me to. But they were out there in California probably do something like that. Okay, we get it. We want to be inclusive. All right, any designs on the wheelchair on the side of the fire department? Woo! You ride on the wheelchair like, yeah. I bullied them into hiring me. Oh, boy. So let's continue. Having too much fun with this one. Okay, let's get back to the woke smoke.
It is important because the different people bring different lenses to their job. And those different ideas, those different lenses are important to have the best practices for our industry. Los Angeles County Fire Department.
That big black man out there talking sensitive. You know, I know they did the little commercial ad there. I know he probably thinking this is some bullshit. Yeah, this is important because, you know, you know, we like to hear from everybody the way they think and stuff.
Would be recognized nationally and possibly even globally as an agency that was very serious about diversity, equity, and inclusion.
And not putting out fires? Very serious about diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, see, they open themselves up when they promote the stuff, they implement the stuff, and then something happens, and it looks trashy. Something happens, and now all of a sudden, you look incompetent. Do you know where people's mind is going to go, right? See, I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, there y'all go. Y'all always going to the diversity, equity, and inclusion as a reason why we let the whole city burn. Well... when I see stuff like this, and you're telling me this stuff is going to make you better, make y'all be able to put fires out better because you got you know, white, black, Asian, Mexican women, all this stuff and this and that, and then it appears that y'all don't know what you're doing, of course I'm going to go, could it be this little ad thing that you guys were focusing on and stuff? Don't try to silence us from criticizing you guys after tragedy hits, and we've been watching your priorities as... yes, we feel that you need to be included.
And made some substantive changes so that everybody could feel safe and feel included.
Safe included. Well, here we go. Now, that was just the fire department, okay? But now we got Mayor Beetlejuice 2.0.
This is about a grassroots movement. This is about a set of beliefs.
Okay.
This is about people who are motivated because of what they believe in, because of their commitment to change.
I mean, are you preaching a sermon? Where you at? Are you in the church? Are you evangelizing out there? Now, what is all of this hubbub you're talking about?
And you all know me. You know that I have devoted my life to fighting.
To making sure that the city is ran properly and that everybody is included in you making sure they're safe and got everything they need, right? Because you should be an activist. Yeah, what you should be is somebody who wants to make that city better for everyone, right? But instead...
on behalf of Angelenos, and I have always been on your side, and I have been a lifelong pro-choice Democrat. Thank you!
Yeah, pro-choice Democrat. Well, guys, let's see what the pro-choice Democrat was doing when the fire started and was burning. Whoa, Los Angeles burns. Okay, wait a minute. Where was she at? Okay, mayor out of the country. Out of the country? What the heck? Oh, she went to the motherland, y'all, to witness somebody else's inauguration.
Do you owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor?
Is she in a daze? What?
Have you nothing to...
Does she not understand the questions? Why is she looking confused? She looking up like, what you saying? I have no idea what that word is. Look at her butt. What is
she... today? Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today?
Speak.
Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position?
Can't get your tongue.
Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today?
No, she said it all on that stage. I've been dedicated this whole time to this and that, and you know I've been an activist, and it's... Yeah, that's when she likes that. That's when she likes to speak a lot. When she can go ahead and promote wokeness. But now all of a sudden, yeah, the cat got the tongue. She's sitting there looking confused. I thought she had a stroke when I first saw this clip. I'm like, did she not hear this man talking to her? What is she doing?
You're dealing with this disaster.
I thought she was impaired. I'm honest. I was like, why does she look dazed, confused? She looked like, who are you talking to? I don't know what you're talking about. Who are you again? What? Yeah, and then they get mad when you say she's a DI hire. A DI hire.
No apology for them?
She need to apologize for that Nestle Crunch bar on top of her head. What are those, baby dreads? I mean, either grow them out or shave them off. Make a choice. You got a Florida Evans afro made out of baby dreads. You look ridiculous.
Do you think you should have been visiting Ghana while this was unfolding back home?
Things are going to get worse before they get better.
Well, yes, they will.
I have seen the front lines of the Palisades fire, and it is staggering. I've been in constant contact with our fire commanders, with county, state, and federal officials.
Somebody said Crunch Bar. Yeah, y'all remember them Nestle Crunch Bars? Yeah, they're chocolate, but they look like they got acne on them or something. You look at them, you're like, ooh, a lot of bumps and stuff on them. Like guys to get the Nestle Crunch Bar on the back of their neck because they shave and then they get infected, and then you're like, you got a Nestle Crunch Bar on the back of your neck, man. Well, yeah, that's what that little afro looked like from the top. Like, that looks like a Nestle Crunch Bar. Anyway, let's continue listening to her talk about how she was on the telephone as she was coming back from Africa.
I took the fastest route back, which included being on a military plane, which facilitated our communication.
Well, tell us what to do.
So I was able to be on the phone the entire time of the flight.
So whole time. Look at that. California is kind of burning. Poor McDonald's.
But make no mistake.
Make no mistake.
Los Angeles will rebuild stronger than ever.
Okay.
Right now, if you need help,
do what?
Emergency information, resources, and shelter is available.
Where?
All of this can be found at URL.
What?
Bruh. What the hell did you just say?
Right now, if you need help, emergency information, resources, and shelter is available. All of this can be found at URL.
What the hell are you talking about?
You know what? This reminds me of...
Go to Joe 30330 and help me in this fight. Thank you.
Democrats. There you go, guys. So after being absent, mismanaging the budget, using money for whatever stupid project you feel is important. After all of that, you get back, tell the people if you need help, go to URL. There you have it. Now, I wonder how many people are going to be typing that in. URL. Okay, nothing's popping up. They're not, I'm here for my help. I typed in URL, but nothing popped up. Yeah, she's just as bad as Joe. These are the most incompetent people in our country. And somehow they finagle themselves into these positions of power. And these are the results. Now, the sad part about it is there's a good chance people will vote for her again. Gavin Newsom again.
Thank you very much.
Well, let's hear from POTUS. Now, we saw what Trump said before this happened. Now, of course, you know they were going to stick a mic in his face and say, oh, what do you think about the current situation in California?
Do you believe that federal aid should be provided to California for as long as it takes?
Well, it's very sad because I've been trying to get Gavin Newsom to allow water to come. You'd have tremendous water up there. They send it out to the Pacific.
What? So wait, y'all had all that water and you sent it out to the Pacific? What? Wait a minute.
Because they're trying to protect a tiny little fish, which is in other areas, by the way, called the smelt. and for the sake of a smelt, they have no water. They had no water in the fire hydrants today.
So now for the sake of the smelt, everything had to burn, y'all. So you see what wokeness will do for you? Woke goes up in smoke. Anything woke goes up in smoke. So least the fish is safe though, y'all. Least the fish is safe. So here's Trump, of course, identifying the problem. Now, this is a problem for the Democrats because they make so many problems that it's easy to call out their problems, identify their problems, and show everybody who's the source of the problem. So now instead of the media and everybody saying, yeah, we have a problem and these people, contributed to it, and we got a leader now that is smart enough to identify the problem, gave solutions, gave warnings about it. Yes, Trump has the right to say this person flubbed it up. And you know why I'm calling it out? Because I warned this person a while ago. I done left all kind of footage on the internet of me identifying a potential problem, also identifying solutions, and these very people didn't listen. Now, you think they want to hear that? You think they want to be like, oh man, he's pointing out how horrible, the Democrats are. He's not pointing it out as an afterthought. See, maybe if he would have never made comments or been thinking about this and then he come out, well, the problem is, but this man was saying, this is going to be a problem later on, right? Look at all this stuff you could. So yes, he's going to come out and say, told you so.
In Los Angeles, it was a terrible thing. And we're going to get that done. It's going to finally be done. I got it done from the federal side. And he didn't want to sign it, but it's not going to happen again like that. There's no reason. Can you imagine? You have farmers that don't have any water in California. They have plenty of water. They don't have a drought. They send it out to the Pacific, and it's crazy. So what's happening in California, tragedy. I know those areas very well. I have many friends living in those houses. That is a true tragedy. Nobody ever thought. Virtually Beverly Hills and areas around Beverly Hills are being decimated. The biggest homes, some of the most valuable homes in the world are just destroyed. I don't even know, you talk about a tax base. If those people leave, you're going to lose half your tax base of California. This is a true tragedy, and it's a mistake.
And I hope it happens. I hope it happens. See, that's why they don't want Trump identifying the real problem. See, they want him to come out and just say it's very bad what's going on there. It's a tragedy. I hope those people get help. We're here for anybody, this and this. No. See, we all know that. But Trump saying these are people who should be held accountable for this. They're horrific. And I warned these people. But because the news loves those people, instead of saying, hey, yeah, why did y'all cut the budget? Yeah, why did y'all tear down these dams that we're about to, hear about in a second? Wait, let me go. Y'all had the biggest rainy season in years. And what did you do with the water? Oh, you got rid of it? Why didn't you clean up the forest? Because of wokeness? Now we got smokeness.
Take of the governor, and you could say the administration. They don't have any water.
And it's about damn time. Governor Kate Brown, Governor Gavin Newsom, U.S. Secretary of Interior Deb Haaland, and tribal leaders all coming together to celebrate the world's largest dam removal along the Klamath River Thursday.
Yay! We got rid of the dam.
At Gate Fish Hatchery in Hornbrook. Last month, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission issued the final approval of the historic plan to remove 4 dams on the Klamath River in California and Oregon. The decision is a culmination of years.
Now wait, what do you use a dam for again? My fault. That was just to be able to, harness the water, control it, contain it, and then distribute it where you want it to go. Is that it? I'm pretty sure. So now all of a sudden, we done got rid of 4. Aren't we proud? We done saved the smelt. We done unleashed all of the water to go back to its natural habitat.
Years of work on the project's licensee, Pacificor, Pacific Power's parent company, on the parts of Oregon and California, and several state and local agencies, along with several tribes.
The folks out there that exercised your leadership every single day, that dialectic that we had throughout this process, where you expected and demanded more, you expressed that at times. Sometimes it was uncomfortable. Other times it was absolutely justifiable. I just want to thank you for making this moment possible.
The Klamath Basin.
Now, don't y'all feel good laying down at night knowing that y'all done unleashed all of that harnessed water and the smelt is enjoying it? What? I smell something. I smell fire. Somebody go get some water. Oh, darn it, where's the water? We released the water back into the, you know what? That's what happens. Yeah, I smelled something all right. It smells like smoke. Woke smoke.
Basin watershed. It covers 9.4 million acres, an area larger than 9 U.S. states. Leaders of the Klamath, Yurok, and Karuk tribes attended Thursday. The tribes say the project will revitalize nearly...
And look at all of these so-called smart people up there. They're enjoying their wokeness right now. They're saying, we did something. Look at that. This is a monumental moment. We did something stupid. We made ourselves weaker, more vulnerable to stupidity and tragedy. But look at that. We can sleep good at night knowing that smelt is out there having a good time.
Nearly 400 miles of the Klamath River and its tributaries, hoping to help restore river health and fish populations.
They didn't have water in the fire hydrants. They don't have water. And yet they have, the water comes from...
The water comes from... Oh, they unleashed the water back into the wild. But now, Anderson Pooper is going to bring up those hurtful words that Donald Trump said about Gavin Newsom. Those true, hurtful words. And look how Gavin Newsom handles it.
The public safety face.
I hate to even ask this question, but the president-elect chose to attack you, blame you for this.
One can't even respond to it. I mean, it's...
Of course you can't respond to it because you're responsible. You're stupid. So now you got to act like it's beneath me. Trump right here. What Trump can't tolerate is incompetency and stupidity. It's greater than him. He has to go ahead and attack the real source of the problem. He's not going to overlook it and pretend that the problem is climate change. It's the fire. The fire is the problem in the wind in these conditions. No, see, that's how you never get a solution. When you start looking at the symptoms. This guy came in here. He had a hole in his ribs. There's blood leaking out, and I know there's some copper inside of him. He died from copper poisoning, and somehow the gun, he got shot. Yeah, go back, trace it. You're sitting there trying to identify something. Yeah, there's the problem right there. So now he got to go ahead and I ain't got time to worry about that. Trump's just politicizing it. No, this is an opportunity to point out your raggedy government ship. Let's continue.
You know, people are literally fleeing. People have lost their lives.
Because of you?
Kids lost their schools.
Because of you?
Families completely torn asunder.
Exactly.
Churches burned down. This guy wanted to politicize it.
Now, here's the hypocrisy in that. Anything that happens, even stuff that Trump has nothing to do with, they will politicize it and point it back to either the Republicans or Trump. Stuff that there's no way you could have stopped it. Some of these random mass shootings or something take place. It's all Republicans. They're all responsible for that. And immediately they jump right in to politicizing it. This, we need to push for gun legislation. This is the reason why I suggest it. But now you got a legitimate reason. It ain't even politicizing it. It's the truth. You're sitting back like, man, I just talked to this dude. Hey, didn't you see what I said about 2 months ago? I just told them that they need to use that water and clean this mess up. I just told him that. So of course he's going to bring it out. But now this guy, this is ridiculous.
I have a lot of thoughts and I know what I want to say. I won't.
Because you ain't got nothing to
next
say.
to the President of the United States of America today.
Creepy.
And I was proud to be with Joe Biden. And he had the backs of every single person in this community. He didn't play politics. Didn't try
Are
to
you kidding me? That same creep that didn't come to East Palestine, that same creep that took forever to go over to Hawaii, that guy? You thinking he got everybody's back? He don't even know what the heck is going on. What is this? It's pretty hot here. We on the beach.
He was at a...
And then, of course, here they come, y'all. How can we make Trump look like the evil villain in this? Instead of focusing on his smart thoughts, his ideas, him being a great leader to be able to identify a problem that if they would have implemented these smart thoughts and ideas, this city wouldn't be burning right now. Instead of focusing on that, what are they going to do?
Conference last night talking about the gratitude he has from President Biden, still the current president, who has offered federal assistance as much as he needs.
Yeah, and the question is, on the campaign trail, I think it was in October of 2024, Donald Trump was saying that if he got reelected, that he could withhold federal funds from California. Obviously, he has a sort of a feud with Gavin Newsom, a feud with almost every Democrat governor and senator and Democrat in general. And I think the question going forward is,
Could that happen? Is this something he's going to actually do when he assumes office? Because
now, see, it's stupid stuff like this, man, that further shows that CNN is fake news, along with the rest of them. So now you're bringing up withholding funds. Do you think that Trump loves American citizens? Now, withholding funds because of California being a sanctuary city and harboring criminals and illegals, that's one thing. But to withhold funds because of a tragedy, Trump's not going to do that. They're trying to make it seem like it's a possibility that Trump would get in there and say, I don't care, let these people burn. Where maybe if they would govern better, then they would get their money. In this case, Trump would set all of that aside and send whatever resources we need to help them. Probably would send in the National Guard, But nonetheless, this woman's trying to make it seem like that Trump could be that vindictive to say, yeah, I don't care if a flood, tornado, hurricane, earthquake hits that joint. Because those people got raggedy leaders out there that didn't listen to me and they all saw a sanctuary state, they said, let the catastrophe. No, because you got a lot of American citizens that ain't got nothing to do with the stupid people that runs the city and the state. You deal with that, save them, but then also let them know. By the way, this would have never happened if these dummies weren't in charge.
Because he does kind of see the federal government and the budget and the monies as his own, as to dole out as he wishes to his friends.
Here's some other
That's
stuff.
the real question going forward.
That's not
But it is sort of sad that this is the same president we're getting again, that there are no lessons learned. There's no sense that Californians are Americans, right?
What the heck is she talking about? It seems kind of sad. There's no lessons learned. No, the no lesson learned is Gavin Newsom's, and we're about to prove it. All of this time, Trump was saying, hey, man, you better do this. This is going to be a problem. But the nuisance didn't learn. That's why he ain't really had nothing to say. When Anderson brought it up, I'm not even going to comment this beneath me, this crazy. Look at these people. I want you to focus on this. Don't focus on my bad choices or the fact that Trump warned me of this. But now here she is. He hasn't learned. He's saying this because Californians are American citizens suffering because of these people's bad choices. But she's trying to make it seem like he don't care about the people.
That they are struggling in these areas. 2 people have lost their lives. These fires haven't been contained at all. It looks like they're probably going to get worse before they get better, and that he doesn't have any sort of empathy.
This is so stupid. You see this? No. Trump is saying we need to hold these people accountable for this tragedy. So now, it would be different if Trump never had anything to add to this tragedy that would have prevented it. See, if I'm a Californian, I'm listening to what Trump is saying and looking at what he said in the past, and I'm going, you're right, Trump. Maybe we should think differently the next time we vote. And that's the problem. That's why they're trying to lead all their viewers away from what Trump is saying as he identifies bad leadership. Instead, they're saying Trump's an ogre, and instead of having compassion and empathy for these people, he wants to criticize and divide and go after the idiots who caused it. That's the crazy part. If Trump didn't have compassion, why didn't y'all cover Trump properly when he went down after that hurricane and him and Elon Musk start helping people and flying in supplies and stuff like that? But he's not compassionate enough. He don't have empathy.
And understanding about, over what these folks are going through. People have families there. Not only, you might have families still there. I have family there and friends as well. So it's just sad and still.
You see these nasty, stinking animals. They make me sick to the gut. They never even brought up how Joe Biden and Kamala Harris don't even have empathy for those 13 service members who died. No empathy whatsoever. They never brought up why they haven't contacted any of the victims, of the parents and family that they're illegal immigrants have ended up killing or harming or stuff. And where's the empathy? Where's that phone call like, oop, my bad policies led to this? None of that. They don't try to guilt and shame these Democrats who overlook tragedy that they're responsible for throughout a long period of time. And yet, when it happens, they act like, I don't know what you're talking about. I ain't calling nobody. I ain't reaching out to nobody. I'm not apologizing to nobody. Even though you can trace this back to something we did or did not do. But they never tell them, where's the empathy? Didn't you not see those parents out there, you know, their kids got killed, and then Trump showed up, took pictures with him, and it was for a photo shoot. Trump wasn't even supposed to take that pictures, yet Biden or Kamala didn't even show up, ain't never called them, ain't never answered their calls. It's crap like this, man. Did you know that these people are simply doing this to cover for the Democrat leadership in California, who is trash?
Literally, as you're speaking.
Congressman, he has talked about this issue of the water, which is not what's happening here.
Not what's happening here.
It's just that there's so much demand. There are 5 fires burning in California right now.
See, once again, lead him away from the incompetency of the Democrats. He's talked about the water, which is not quite happening here. Well, this guy right here is informed, and unfortunately, he's about to bust Abby's bubble.
Now, why is he going straight to politics and not simply offering support? I mean, he's not president yet, so he can't offer resources. But why does he have to start attacking people politically?
Like you guys do every single time. But nonetheless, he is qualified, and justified in attacking these dummies. He's not doing it just because he's trying to throw a label on them, making up stuff, saying they're accountable and responsible for stuff that they're not, like you guys do. Y'all try to make Trump responsible for everything that he have nothing to do with. Nothing to do with. Trump is calling them out because when he do it, he's like, I told them this happened. They didn't do this. They should have did this. That's why. Okay, but here she is. She's about to get it.
Well, first off, I would tell you the tragedy we see unfolding is terrible. And obviously we all want to start there. Water storage is a problem. And you said it yourself, there's not enough water to fight 5 fires. You can't build water storage in California because you can't build anything in California.
Bam! See, just keep following the rabbit trail, Abby. You'll start to see and connect the dots. One thing leads to another. So now you couldn't build anything in California, so you telling me we couldn't harness the water because of the fish or something, right?
There's one water storage project in Sacramento Valley they've been trying to build for 40 years. The reality is the left will not let it advance.
Wokeness leads to smokeness.
Should have been more water storage, and that would have helped save lives and property.
Now, you hear that? That man just destroyed her narrative. He says it's the water, but it's not the water.
What we are hearing from California officials is that this is a water pressure issue.
Of course you're going to hear that from them. What are they going to say? It's a Democrat leadership issue? It's a wokeness issue? You think they're going to say that? No. They're going to say, it's not us. It's the water pressure. We got this mosque inside of the pipes. They're plugged up. We got a gnat problem in there. They're going to go ahead and say it's everything, just like Gavin Newsom said, except for us and our bad choices.
That the water has to come down, and that in some areas the water pressure was lost as they tried to reestablish that pressure. It's not an absence of water. There is water.
No, it's the same issue. If you got water storage up on a hill, the reality is when they needed water to come out of those hydrants, it takes 7 years to get the same kind of get done in Canada or Australia in 2 years. We have made it impossible to build things, and that is a government problem.
Yeah, because you got to fight through all that wokeness. Yeah, you're not dealing with red tape. You're dealing with all of that wokeness. So I like to go ahead and build a small monument, a statue right here on this curb. Ooh, that curb? Yes, that curb. Yeah, see, I know you can't see it, but there's some microorganisms that we're protecting right there on that curb. So you're going to need to fill out this application. And then you're going to also have to remove all those microorganisms that you can't see. So you won't really know if you removed them or not. But you got to keep trying. Okay. And once you remove all the microorganisms and place them somewhere else, then we can go ahead and pass your permit. That should take about 8 years. That's why. See, but yet this guy, he's busting her bubble.
But is that the problem in this case with this massive, the fire of this scale is not just about can they put out this house or that house. This is a fire that is being accelerated by incredible wins.
And government policy plays into that too. We across this country have made it impossible to manage forests.
Oh, so every little time she comes out trying to protect those dumb Democrats, yeah, this guy is saying, I'm glad you brought that up. Whenever somebody do that, you're in trouble. He's smarter than her. He's more informed than her. Here she is trying to go to something else. And he's like, interesting. I'm glad you brought that up. All of that mess in the forest, they're saying you can't touch that stuff. Leave the brush alone. Well, you do know the brush could catch on fire, right? I mean, that's, you know what? Let nature play out. Let it play out. And look what happened.
A managed forest is a healthy forest. Instead, across the country, we have turned them into tinder boxes. We see it. And frankly, if we don't let the loggers get in and in a targeted and appropriate way, get that underbrush out there, we will see more terrible visions like we have seen on your.
So let me get this straight. We got Democrats focused on wokeness. We got them tearing down dams, not harvesting the water. Okay. Yeah, then we got woke mayor out of the city or the state when that happened. So now that led to no water in there. Okay. They can't clean up the brush. Okay. Which makes it easier for the fire to start and go. You got all of these factors. That's what you're telling me. But yet it's Trump who's calling out the folks that's woke. He's the problem.
Screen. I think we can all acknowledge it with a $33 billion budget. There's enough money to pay the firefighters and the cops.
And I forgot about that. Wokeness led to brokeness. So they didn't pay the firefighters and the cops, so therefore they don't have a big enough staff to help put the fire out. There's another log thrown on the fire of wokeness.
But
This is not a false dichotomy.
All I'm saying is that I don't know that it has anything to do with the readiness of the fire.
Okay, but
So what does it have to do with, Abby?
here's what I know. When she was cutting the fire department $17 million, she was putting millions more into cannabis regulation.
Cannabis regulations. Look at that, guys. Look where all that money went to. So they spent the money, that you're telling me now, on wokeness. That's why they brokeness.
At some point, these decisions about who our leaders are have impacts on real people's lives.
And they signal priorities, because also in California, you might have recall a news story from last year. There was some interest in the fire departments and the firefighters in California. And
so there was a lot of people wanting to sign up to be firefighters. And what did that woke lady say?
the interest was that there were too many white men who were firefighters, and we need to have a program in California to make sure we don't have enough white men as firefighters. So we have.
That's it. I'm done. Look at him. Scott, come on. I can't believe. Yeah, there you go with the. Don't try to. Come on, Scott, me. Don't do that. The fact that that's true, okay, they don't like it because they all support that wokeness, DEI, and all of that stuff. Yeah, but then they want to be ashamed of it. Yeah, then they want to get mad when people bring it up, like maybe if y'all would have been focused on hiring people versus, I got another white application, get this white man out of here. All right, now we got a woman here, she's 4'7", 4'7", looks like she's 113 pounds, just the type of go-getter we need. All right, so how much can you lift? Maybe 40 pounds. That's not enough, but that's okay. You're a woman. Okay, all right. How's your endurance? Oh, wow. I can barely walk a mile. All right, but you're a woman. Okay, and have you ever put a fire out? No, I started a lot of them growing up. I used to be a pyromaniac. Okay, that's different. That means you should know about fire. Okay, well, you look like it's unreal. That's what they were focused on. And if she really wanted to go ahead and make sure she got it, and I'm also transgender, then definitely. You're now the new fire chief. You know that? You're the fire chief.
And yet, I'm wondering now, if your house was burning down, how much do you care what color the firefighters are?
Well, no, these woke folk, get off me, white man. Now, you leave me in this hot house. Go out there and you find me either a woman, a transgender, or a black person to pull me out of this here fire. I'd rather burn than to let a white man rescue me. You think that's what they would be thinking, guys?
I'm not. I'm just simply saying that as a matter of public policy in California, the main interest in the fire department lately has been in DEI programming and budget cuts, and now we have this massive fire.
But Scott, are we really blaming the fire department?
No, we're not blaming just the fire department. The leaders. See, Abby, who wants to jump in and rescue the Democrats from all of their wokeness, who don't want people to really say, yeah, we got a fire situation out there. But boy, these are a lot of factors that contributed to how bad this got and might have contributed to why it happened in the first place. Here I am, some lightning, thinking I'm about to show up in one of those California forests. Y'all ready to go down and burn some crap up? Yeah, let's do it. Lightning shoot down there, hit the ground, looking around for some brush, and it's gone. All they see is wetness and twig. Like, man, this is grass. Where's all the brush that they left here last year? Oh, they cleaned that up. We ain't got nothing. That's what should have happened. But they landed in a whole bunch of brush. Like, that's good. See, Gavin Newsom is still on no cleaning up the brush. Let's burn it up. We'll clean it up. That's what we'll do, along with all their city. Yeah, unreal.
People in the LA fire department.
I'm blaming the
right?
Democrats.
No.
Here we
But
go.
the fire
Here's her
department right
explanation.
now, they are dealing with a historic fire. Okay,
And they have terrible leadership.
That is.
Scott won't let it slide. You hear him slipping it in? That they're telling what yeah, because they got terrible leadership.
Caused by
what?
climate, by the fact
I don't
that
know
it is
that- I don't know
extremely
if that's true.
dry
The climate, extremely dry.
in the state of California, and they are fighting it in tropical force winds.
She's fighting it. She is fighting to protect these soft, raggedy behind woke leaders and Democrat asshole ran cities and states. Don't you see the parallel? Democrats are trash when it comes down to governing. They focus on unnecessary stuff, blow the money on stuff that don't matter, and just horrible. They have no planning. They have no contingency plans. They don't do no foreshadowing. They're not proactive when it comes down to that, but they sure will send you through a seminar to learn about your hidden and unconscious biases.
Trump's been right about everything.
And this is why y'all need to shut your mouths, blaming Trump for politicizing it. You earned the right, Trump, to politicize it. Look at all this evidence that Trump was right about everything as we close.
And if you think about it, I really have.
I want to thank you and acknowledge the work that you've done to be immediate in terms of your response to our FMAG request 14. We were just talking, Mark Giladucci is the head of the Office of Emergency Service. This may be a record that the states received in the FMAG support, as well as the major.
A record. So back when Trump was president and California was burning again, Gavin Newsom was talking about all of the support that Trump gave. And it's a record. But I thought Trump would have been like, man, get out of here, you dumb Democrat who don't listen. Yeah, go ahead, man. You ain't get no money. Yeah, you dumb, stupid leader who's allowing all of these criminals and illegals to be in your state and city. No, we're not giving you nothing. But instead,
their disaster declaration, which you referenced on August 22nd, which was profoundly significant, not only to help us support our mutual aid system, but also individuals that are in desperate need of support.
Cleaned out and protected. You got to take care of the floors, the floors of the forests, very important. You look at other countries where they do it differently, and it's a whole different story. I was with the president of Finland, and he said, we have a much different, we're a forest nation. He called it a forest nation. And they spend a lot of time on raking and cleaning and doing things, and they don't have...
Preventative, that's what you're telling me? This was before this happened right here. This was before. See, so while those fake news people were saying that he hasn't learned, and why is he dividing people? No, he's pointing out this idiot standing right here. That's the one that haven't learned. Because now we see the evidence. This was before this tragedy. Look what Trump is saying.
Any problem, and when it is, it's a very small problem. So I know everybody's looking at that. To that end, and it's going to work out. You've seen what happened. You've talked about the forest fires. Now we're permitting and cleaning up these forests so it will reduce the threat of forest fire as well as creating jobs in these communities. We're all to do that in California, right? Yes, sir.
Oh, look at that. Y'all need to do that in California, by the way. Another example of Trump being right and proactive. Proactive when it comes down to preventing what we're looking at right now.
California's a mess. We're giving billions and billions of dollars for forest fires in California. There's no reason for those fires to be like they are.
Look at that.
They're leaving them dirty.
This isn't the time for Trump to politicize it and bring this stuff up. No, it's exactly the time. Okay? See, this is the perfect time for Trump to come out and say, I told this idiot to take care of this a long time ago. But they were so focused on woke, now we got smoke.
Disgraceful thing. Old trees are sitting there rotting and dry. And instead of cleaning it up, they don't touch them. They leave them. And we end up with these massive fires that we're paying hundreds of billions of dollars for to fix. And the destruction is incredible.
Now, see, if he hadn't been saying all of this throughout the years, if we didn't have all these examples of him saying that y'all need to do this, okay, now, then maybe he shouldn't have come out and brought that up, like the Democrats. See, the Democrats, they politicize stuff that they don't have any solutions to. Yeah, they're never sitting around saying, well, you know what, if you would have did this, if you should, this is a problem coming down the pipeline. They wait until something happened, then they come out and say, Trump should have did this, but they would never tell you what they would have done because they don't have solutions. It's kind of like COVID. They try to come out and blame Trump. Trump shut the city down and this and that. Well, what would you have done? During that time where you had a new disease or virus popped up and you got Fauci talking about we need 2 weeks and saying, everybody's dying and stuff. What would y'all have done differently? They won't tell you that because there are people who come out and do the Monday morning quarterbacking afterwards. And it's truly for political reasons because most of the time you'll see that it was handled properly, but they're there just to criticize afterwards. And then that absolves them of being responsible for having a good plan or an idea. We don't have anything to compare. Yeah, see, that's what they do. They do it the safe way. They're not out there in front of a problem telling you, all right, we see this about to happen, and this is what should be done to avoid it. They don't do that stuff. They wait until a problem happened, then Trump or whomever come in, deal with it, and then they go, it should have been dealt before like that. Y'all should have checked into there. You know what? Where were you at when? And I'm going, see, y'all are there just to solely politicize it. Trump has a right to say, look at the evidence. I told y'all this would happen. I told him to take care of it. He didn't. And now look what happened. So don't get mad at Trump.
So I think California ought to get their act together and clean up their forests and manage their forests because it's disgraceful. They said, we have no water. I said, do you have a drought? No, we don't have a drought.
This was only a couple months ago.
Why do you have no water? Because the water isn't allowed to flow down.
Oh, the water's not allowed to flow down. Well, look at that. Where's the water? Oh, we have none, but it's not allowed to flow down.
It's got a natural flow from Canada all the way up north. More water than they could ever use. And in order to protect a tiny little fish,
there's that fish again.
Water up north gets routed into the Pacific Ocean. Millions and millions of gallons of water gets poured. I could have water for all of that land.
And to put out all of those fires. I could have water to put out all of those fires. So let me summarize this for the idiots out there talking Trump's politicizing it. So now, all that water gets funneled away into the ocean. They done got rid of dams, all right? But they feel good about the smell. No water pressure now. They didn't clean up the brush. And these are all human choices. So is it climate change? Is it because the winds are blowing? Is that it? Is it because we don't have enough? Oh, by the way, downsize the fire department. Don't forget that part too. And wokeify it. Now, to conclude, I think that's human error.
Water for your forests. Your forests are dry as a bone.
Yeah.
Okay?
Dangerous.
That water could be routed. You could have everything. Oh, not only dangerous, billions of dollars a year they spend on forest fires. And there's a case with the environment. They're not allowed to rake their forests.
Not allowed to even rake it.
You're not allowed to touch it. And all they have to do is clean their forest, meaning rake it up, get rid of the leaves, get rid of, leaves that are sitting there for 5 years. And
we'll certainly get rid of the dead fall.
And get rid of the trees that are falling.
Yeah.
Thank God for Trump. So now, as they sit back and criticize the wrong person for this tragedy, I had to highlight why he's the right person to criticize this tragedy. Because he's pointing at the real people responsible for this tragedy. Now, I'm not saying that the fire wouldn't have started, but they would have been way more prepared to handle it and react to it if they were not wokeified. So all of that woke ended up going up in smoke. So God bless y'all. God bless America. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way out. They need to get rid of these Democrats in their leadership roles in these cities, or else more crap like this is coming down the pipeline. They just are horrible leaders. Just piss poor, man. So now, like I said, hit the like button on the way out, share my videos, follow me on all the other social media platforms. Please make sure you turn on your notification button for all, and text MAGA to this number. Check out Kevin's Corner Store. And you're also welcome and encouraged to support the channel through my Cash App and my PayPal. Definitely be appreciated. Other than that, we'll be back tomorrow dealing with more nonsense to make sense out of. All right, so let's get out of here. It's Thursday, y'all. I'm going to check out the rest of this feet. This is our city. Yeah. Take care.